Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? Cash and Clean here. So the PTS is out, and if you guys didn't hear the news, 64-bit Trove is now a thing. So I guess before it used to be 32-bit, now it's 64-bit. Now, if you don't know what that means exactly, basically nothing essentially for Trove, unless they do optimize it. But essentially what happens is the game performance is supposed to be better. And basically from my understanding, there's better RAM and CPU usage, and I guess allegedly better FPS, but it seems like the FPS that I have on live servers is the same as I do have on the PTS, so nothing really changed there. And overall just better performance, so shots that didn't register are supposed to register. I mean, allegedly. From the testing that I did on the PTS from my live stream, the gameplay, everything felt about the same. The only difference is the loading times is a teeny bit faster, so I guess W there. And I can't really tell if the game's smoothness is better because no one's playing on the PTS, so it's like I'm just playing by myself. It's like I'm playing a single player game, so there's not going to be that much of an impact on the servers. Whereas if I go to the live servers, go to the hub, it's going to be pretty laggy. So I wish there was that we can test. And I really wish that they made it so we can actually export our accounts on the PTS, but we cannot do that. And speaking of the PTS, there's also a huge and a thing that you guys have to fix in order to even access the PTS. They did post it on the PTS announcement on the Trove Discord, but basically what happens is you have to go to your PTS install folder. This is only on PC, by the way. All you have to do is locate where your Trove is downloaded. If you haven't played on the PTS, just open your Glyph launcher and change your region, whether it's NA or EU, change that to PTS, and then you'll have a thing to download there. And when you do download it, you'll have the new folder. Just make sure you refresh the file explorer. And for me, it's in my C drive. I don't know if you guys have like a D drive or an E drive or whatever type of drive, but it's going to be program files times 86, Glyph games Trove, and then PTS. If your Trove is installed somewhere else, then you will have to locate that. And I can't really help you too much if it's not at the usual default. Maybe you can re-download Trove and see where it goes. And before you actually accept to download it, you can just see where it would have gone to, and you can just locate it that way. What I'm trying to say is that when you go to that location, when you go to Games Trove, and then you'll see Live and PTS, you want to go over to PTS because there's something that you have to change. Now, in my instance, there's two different EXEs for Trove. There's a Trove_times64.exe, and there's also a Trove.exe. I had to delete the Trove.exe, and then I had to rename the Trove_times64.exe just to Trove.exe. I hope that made sense. You can follow along on the PTS announcements in the Trove Discord server, and if you're banned from there or if you don't want to access that Discord, I'll just leave it in the description so you guys can feel free to check out the steps down there. There's also a thing for the language. I'm going to leave everything for all that in the description. The only thing I had to do was I just had to delete Trove.exe and rename the other exe, and I was able to play the PTS from there. Make sure you're doing that on the PTS, because when you download the PTS, it's going to give you an error. So as long as you do the other steps, just make sure that when you do the other steps, you have Glyph closed, then you change the name, then you open Glyph, and then you launch the PTS. So hopefully we're good there. And then apart from that, basically they want us to test out the PTS with like dungeons, quest lines, dailies, just like typical playing Trove, and the overall performance is supposed to be better. Like I said, I don't really notice that much of a difference. It seems basically the same to me. However, shots are supposed to register better, loading times are supposed to be decreased so you can actually load quicker into different worlds, and there's supposed to be overall less crashes. So that's what I'm saying about the overall performance. It's supposed to be better. I don't think it's gonna necessarily fix the spaghetti code that they still have, but you know, can't really complain about better performance. And then there is one more thing that they changed that I actually don't like, but other people seem to like, which is the mount. So my FOV is this. If I press my mount, it just zooms out, and then if I go to this specific boat, it zooms out even more, which I do not like. Like, I already don't like it when it zooms out this much with this boat. I mean, it's a bird, but I personally do not like it that it does it with the mount. People said that it's smoother, it looks better this way. I don't like being zoomed out this much, and I don't want to have to zoom in with the mount, and then when I'm off the mount, I don't want to re-zoom out, things like that. So just a personal preference there. I don't like it, so I don't know. Maybe we can have some kind of compromise with that one. Looks like they got rid of the Tiny Quest update, which is nice. It was a horrendous update, so hopefully they can fix that. And then the other thing is the event is supposed to come out this Tuesday. And as far as everything else goes, everything is basically the same. We still cannot complete this quest line. We still cannot export our accounts. There's a lot of stuff still disabled. We still do not have the marketplace on PC or trading for that matter. And yeah, that's basically it. If you guys have tested the PTS, let me know what you guys think about it, or just in general about us upgrading from 32-bit to 64-bit, if you guys know what that means. The way I see it is just a performance upgrade. However, I don't know if Trove is actually going to utilize the performance upgrade. We'll have to see about that. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.